Welcome back to Oldest a Coin. Today, you are about to discover why a simple-looking 25-cent coin could secretly be worth up to $10 million. Yes, you heard that right. This is the United States Washington quarter, 25 cents. A coin millions of Americans have held in their hands, spent at stores, dropped in pockets, and forgotten in jars. Yet a very tiny number of these quarters hide life-changing value. So stay with me until the very last second, because the most important detail comes near the end. And missing it could cost you millions. Asterisk, this coin is officially called the United States Washington quarter. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan and struck for everyday use across America, at first glance it looks ordinary. George Washington facing left, liberty across the top, "In God We Trust" beside his neck, and the date at the bottom, but collectors know that ordinary coins are often the most dangerous because rare errors hide where nobody expects them. Asterisk. Now let me be clear from the start. A normal circulated Washington quarter is worth face value, 25 cents, sometimes 50 cents if in nice condition, but collectors do not search for normal coins. Collectors hunt anomalies, mistakes, transitional errors, and ultra-high-grade survivors. And that is where the $10 million story begins. Asterisk, before we go deeper. Let us talk about the physical facts of this coin, because serious collectors always start with measurements. The Washington quarter has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, and a weight of 5.67 grams. It is composed of a copper core with a nickel-clad outer layer for modern issues. Older issues before 1965 were 90% silver, and that alone makes earlier examples valuable. But today we are focusing on something far more extreme. Asterisk condition is everything in numismatics. Condition determines whether a coin is pocket change or a museum-level artifact. Collectors use a professional grading scale called the Sheldon scale, which runs from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS-65 or higher is considered gem uncirculated. MS-68 and MS-69 coins are extraordinarily rare, and MS-70 is perfection. Grading companies like PCGS and NGC authenticate coins, seal them in tamper-proof holders, and assign official grades without professional grading. A coin claiming to be worth millions is just a story. Asterisk. Now here is where curiosity should kick in. Because a $10 million Washington quarter would not be just old or shiny. It would need something extraordinary, something that should not exist. And yet, does Asterisk imagine a Washington quarter struck on the wrong planchette? Perhaps struck on a silver blank meant for another denomination. Or even more extreme, struck on a gold planchette? Errors like this are called off-metal errors, and they are among the most valuable mistakes in U.S. mint history. If a Washington quarter were struck on a gold planchette, authenticated by PCGs or NGC, and preserved in near-perfect condition, collectors and museums would fight over it. Asterisk. Another path to extreme value is a transitional error. This happens when the mint changes metal composition or design, and old blanks accidentally get struck with new dies. For example, imagine a 1965 dated Washington quarter struck on a 90% silver planchette instead of copper. Nickel, only a handful are known, and prices skyrocket into 6 or 7 figures. Scale that rarity further, add pristine condition, and the price climbs into legend territory. Asterisk. Double die errors also play a massive role. Collectors look for doubling. On Liberty, In God We Trust, Washington's profile, and even the date. True double dies are created during die manufacturing, not by damage. And under magnification, you can see clear separation lines. PCGS and NGC both certify major double die quarters, and some varieties sell for tens of thousands. But if a previously unknown major double die surfaced, the market would explode. Asterisk. Then there are missing clad layer errors, where one side of the coin lacks its nickel layer, exposing pure copper. These are dramatic and visually shocking. Collectors love them, and high-grade examples command huge premiums. especially if the error is strong and untouched. Asterisk, now imagine combining multiple factors. An off-metal error, extreme rarity, flawless condition, and historical importance. That is how the $10 million value enters the conversation, not as hype, but as theoretical maximum value based on collector demand. Auction competition. In historical uniqueness asterisk, serious collectors understand that value is created when supply is nearly zero and demand is unlimited. Elite collectors want pieces nobody else can own. Museums want headline coins. Auction houses want records. And that is how a Washington quarter could reach 8 figures asterisk. Let me tell you something most people never hear. The most expensive coins are not always the oldest. They are the rarest mistakes. And Washington quarters were minted by the billions, which makes mint errors even more fascinating. Because statistically, some incredible mistakes slip through asterisk. Now let us talk about how to check your own coin. First, weigh it with a digital scale. 5.67 grams is standard. Anything significantly heavier or lighter is a red flag in a good way. Next, measure diameter and thickness. Mismatches suggest off-planchet errors. Then inspect edges. A normal quarter has a reeded edge. A smooth or uneven edge could indicate something unusual asterisk. Use magnification. 10 times minimum. Look closely at lettering, doubling, cracks, cuds, and missing details. Do not clean the coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Collectors want originality asterisk. If you believe you have something special, the next step is authentication. Submit the coin to PCGS or NGC. Never sell raw if you think it is rare. Grading not only protects the coin, but unlocks its real market value asterisk. Now, where do you sell a high-value Washington quarter? Not at a local pawn shop, not on random marketplaces. Serious coins belong in major auction houses, like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. These companies specialize in elite numismatics, attract millionaire collectors, create bidding wars that maximize value. Asterisk, private sales through established coin dealers are also possible, but only dealers with national reputations and transparent records. Avoid anyone who pressures you to sell quickly asterisk. Here comes the cliffhanger moment. Because most people watching this video right now either have a Washington quarter in their home or can easily get one. Almost nobody checks them properly. Somewhere out there in a jar, drawer, or inherited collection, the next headline. Quarter could be waiting asterisk, and that is why this channel exists. Oldest Coin is not about hype. It is about knowledge, awareness, and giving everyday people the tools collectors use asterisk if you enjoy discovering hidden value, rare errors, and real numismatic insights. You must support this channel. I like this video so more collectors can find it. Comment below if you own any Washington quarters or have found strange coins, and most importantly, subscribe to Oldest Coin, because every subscription helps this channel uncover more forgotten treasures asterisk. Share this video with friends, family, and fellow collectors, because the next rare coin story might begin with someone you know asterisk. Stay subscribed, stay curious, and remember, sometimes history hides in plain sight, and the smallest coin can carry the biggest value. Only here on